Today I'm diving into the wild world of the anchoring effect and challenging myself to see how it influences my decisions in real time. The anchoring effect is a powerful cognitive bias that influences our daily choices and judgments, often without us even realizing it. It's a phenomenon where our perceptions and decisions are anchored to an initial piece of information, which can then sway our judgment and decision-making. When we're making decisions, we tend to rely on the first piece of information we're given, even if it's irrelevant or unreliable. This anchor then becomes the reference point for all subsequent judgments, leading us to make suboptimal choices. For example, imagine you're shopping for a new TV, and the salesperson shows you a high-end model priced at $2,000. Then they show you a more affordable option priced at $2,200. The initial high price becomes the anchor, making the second option seem like a better deal than it would have if you'd seen it first. This bias can lead to poor decision-making in many areas of life, such as finance, relationships, and even our careers. For instance, when negotiating a salary, the initial offer often becomes the anchor, influencing our perception of a fair wage. Similarly, when meeting new people, our first impression can become the anchor, influencing our subsequent interactions and relationships. The anchoring effect can also lead to inconsistent decisions, as our judgments are often based on arbitrary anchors rather than objective criteria. For example, when evaluating the quality of a restaurant, our judgment might be influenced by the initial price range or the ambiance, rather than the actual food quality. In psychological studies, the anchoring effect has been demonstrated through various experiments. One famous study, known as the high anchor effect, showed that people who were first asked to write down a random number between 0 and 100, and then asked to estimate the number of countries in the United Nations, gave significantly higher estimates than those who didn't write down a number. This demonstrates how an arbitrary anchor can influence our judgments and perceptions. Another study, known as the credit card anchoring experiment, showed that people who were shown a higher credit limit were more likely to spend more money than those who were shown a lower credit limit. This highlights how the anchoring effect can lead to impulsive decisions and overspending. In real-life scenarios, the anchoring effect can have a significant impact on our thoughts and behaviors. For instance, when evaluating the quality of a product, we might be influenced by the initial price or brand reputation, rather than considering objective features and functionalities. Similarly, when making investment decisions, we might be swayed by market trends or media coverage, rather than conducting thorough research and analysis. One powerful insight from these studies is that the anchoring effect can be so strong that it can even influence our memories and perceptions. In one study, participants were shown a video of a car accident and then asked to estimate the speed of the cars involved. Those who were first asked if the cars were going over 30 miles per hour gave higher estimates than those who were asked if they were going under 30 miles per hour. This shows how our initial perception of an event can become the anchor, influencing our subsequent memories and judgments. The anchoring effect can also lead to a self-reinforcing cycle, where our initial judgments and decisions influence our subsequent perceptions and behaviors. For instance, if we initially perceive someone as being friendly, we're more likely to behave in a friendly manner towards them, which can then reinforce our initial perception. In another study, researchers found that people who were given a higher initial estimate of their performance on a task were more likely to overestimate their abilities and take on more challenging tasks. This highlights how the anchoring effect can influence our self-perception and goal setting. In conclusion, the anchoring effect is a powerful cognitive bias that influences our daily choices and judgments, often without us even realizing it. By being aware of this bias, we can take steps to mitigate its impact and make more informed, objective decisions. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear about your experiences with the anchoring effect in the comments below. If you're interested in learning more about cognitive biases and how they impact our daily lives, be sure to check out my other videos.